What's up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890 back at you again with my boy Jman from the IWR show. Since SummerSlam is right around the corner, we decided, we would talk about some of our favorite moments, some of our favorite matches, what we think the best SummerSlam of all time was, leading into this SummerSlam, what we think is going to happen, surprises, stuff like that. So, Jman, hit it up. What you got with moments here?
All right, favorite moments. I'm going to start off here. 2006, Edge's retain against John Cena in Boston, John Cena's hometown, something to where nobody really thought that John Cena was going to go out of there the loser. Nobody thought that Edge was going to retain this, and he ended up doing it. And actually pretty entertaining matchup, and just, that whole entire, in the middle of that whole entire rated R summer that was 2006 with Edge, which is some great stuff there. Next one up we had actually last year's with Daniel Bryan's return. Just shocking, especially in this age in wrestling when you have everything at your demand. Anything you want to know about, you can know about it with the internet, with whatever you want to know, you can know right off that. And nobody had a clue what this was going on here when Daniel Bryan came out and actually had a great performance in that matchup. And with his success in WWE, it's amazing to see. But a great return there in 2010. Number 3, I got probably one of my favorites for sure of all time, which is Randy Orton's win in 2004 over Chris Benoit. So amazing to see this. Randy Orton, one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. In this win over Chris Benoit, which was a great match, and really seeing his rise in WWE at this point, which is some great stuff, and becoming the youngest world champion in history.
Yeah, the Orton win as well is one of my favorite moments. I remember watching this and just thinking, wow, are they really going to let him win this? He's very young, very green, and they did, and they still to this day talk about him being the youngest champion and all that. It's insane to see where he's at now and see what he's done from this point. And it's a shame because the match that the person he had it with, it won't be on a best of his probably. No. So it's a shame to see that, but it's a great moment there, and that one of the better moments for SummerSlam in the last couple of years. So with that, also I have one of my favorite segments from a couple SummerSlams where we're back with Jericho and Shawn Michaels, where they had that segment in the ring where Jericho punched Shawn Michaels' wife. It was just crazy. I remember being upset with that, just being like, why are they not having a match here? I was like, man, they need to have this match that they've been trying to build towards, and it ended up building towards a better storyline, better feud, better matches, and I'm grateful they did that, and it was a really cool moment. And also probably one of the biggest moments in SummerSlam history, with Stone Cold breaking his neck off the pile driver from Owen Hart. Just an amazing moment there, because it pretty much altered professional wrestling, and you look back and you think, if that never happened, you could be seeing Stone Cold today in the role of maybe like an Undertaker, doing and could have been around throughout the 2000s.
He had other injuries, but that was really one of the bigger ones, whether it was his legs or whatever like that. But that one definitely hurt him for a while there. I'll go with some of my favorite matches here. I'm gonna go with TLC 2000. Just some amazing stuff here. One of the most famous tag matches of all time with the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys. Edge and Christian, my favorite tag team of all time, so obvious pick for me. Just amazing stuff that you did not see up to this point, especially in WWF. You did not see into this point. They had the flashes of brilliance with Edge and Christian and the Hardys back at No Mercy in '99 with that ladder match they had that really started to open people's eyes to what we could see in the future. And TLC 2000 really opened it even wider and saw what greatness was there. Another matchup I had was Stone Cold and Kurt Angle from 2001 in the height of the invasion angle and the height of a great heel run from Stone Cold, which was one of my favorite runs. Stone Cold, just seeing him heel was so amazing. I thought it was great stuff and great work from both men there, and a really great performance. And my third match, my favorite wrestler of all time, coming back after a 4-year absence, seeing this live myself, I just thought, how in the hell can this guy still do this? Not being in the ring for 4 years and come back and do this with Shawn and Triple H in the street fight they had in 2002. It was just amazing to see that and see, Shawn come back just for one more match, just to do it for, his kids and show that dad could still get in there and do some great stuff, and he did, and we saw 9-10 years whatever it was down the road still being in the company and still just showing his greatness.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite matches with him also from SummerSlam. It's insane, him coming back, having the kind of match, had not wrestling for 4 years or something like that. So it's insane to see the kind of match they had, being there with Triple H. That they were good friends and they wanted to do something real special here, and they did. And Shawn Michaels going on and continuing his legacy after this, which I wasn't expecting, but just absolutely amazing stuff there. With my matches, I'm gonna go with Brett versus Owen from '94, the cage match. a lot of cage matches today are throw a guy into a cage, basically spots here and there. This was more of a storytelling aspect of a cage match. Basically, both guys, it was nearly 40 minutes or something like that. And they were just, the whole storyline of it was Owen trying to get out of it, and Brett kept getting him. And to me, I just remember it just being very, more of like a story than a match, and just being like, oh, Brett, you got to get him. And that was one of the things I really remember about that.
Yeah.
And then also another one of my favorites is HBK versus Razor, the ladder match that they had at that is, and I just remember that, to me, being better than the one from WrestleMania. The one from WrestleMania gets a lot of praise, but I truly like this one a lot more. And that it just stands out to me watching it this so many years later as being that good. But jumping on to our favorite SummerSlam of all time, we're in complete agreement on this one. SummerSlam 2002, to me, not even just the best SummerSlam, quite possibly one of my favorite shows of all time. Just so much fun. Everything on the show, I really enjoyed. There wasn't really a dull moment. I mean, I could even go as far as say, I didn't even mind, Test and Undertaker, which was, it was okay, but it was still fun. Everything about the show was so much fun. You had Brock winning the title for the first time. RVD, Benoit, just a whole bunch of just fantastic, fun stuff. Just, Angle and Mysterio. Just everything about this show to me was just what I love about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this really had 2002 SummerSlam really had some great builds too, with Rock and Brock, with Shawn coming back against Triple H. Just had some amazing stuff coming in here, and as he said, there's just so many things. It's pretty crazy when Undertaker has one of the worst matches on the pay-per-view, and that's that's insane to say that, because usually he's up there on one of the higher card matches. But also had Edge and was it Eddie Guerrero, I think, also.
Yep,
it had that little feud in the late 2002 that they had there, that continued there, starting the card off with Angle and Rey Mysterio. I mean, are you kidding me? That's insane to start a show off like that. And at top to bottom, it's just amazing stuff. I mean, and as I've always said that I think that SummerSlam 2002 and around that point, around when Brock won the title from Rock, really started at a transition and kind of a turning point in WWE's career. They just changed their name from WWF to WWE in like May of that year. So, they had that kind of change in name, so you kind of almost needed a change in what was going on in the direction of, the product. And you really had it with, Rock coming in there, just the focus point, with guys like Stone Cold and guys like Undertaker and guys like Triple H in the Attitude Era. And then going into, this new type of era and having Brock win the title, that was just totally different of what we've seen in, past, and going in there with like guys like Kurt Angle and stuff like that, and just changing the tides of wrestling. And, we'd have different eras come here and there, but I think, around that point would really be a turning point in WWE's career for sure.
Yeah. So, moving on with this, this year's SummerSlam, looking fantastic. I don't want to jump the gun and say this is going to be very special, but this could be one of the best SummerSlams since '02.
Yeah.
You look at two matches in particular. You got CM Punk and Cena, and the unification match, and then you got Christian and Randy Orton in the No Holds Barred. So, I mean, you look at those both right there. Are bona fide two just going to be great matches. If the crowd can show up like they did at Money in the Bank for Punk and Cena, you're looking at another classic here. We've been asking for a while. You're like, all these matches they're having with Orton and Christian, when are they going to throw a stipulation on these? When are you going to throw a stipulation on these? They finally do, and we're going to get it here, and I think it's going to be some pretty good stuff. The undercard is not completely, filled in, but I am, actually kind of interested in seeing Beth Phoenix and Kelly. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this, and see what they're going to add to this. Maybe Daniel Bryan and Wade Barrett, Dolph and Alex Riley, and there's a couple other ideas they're throwing in there, maybe Kofi and Del Rio. So, I mean, this has the potential to be one of the best of all time. I don't know about you, but I'm really feeling it right now.
No, I would say for sure, with the top of the card being as the way it is, as you said, with the two title matches, especially with what's going on with CM Punk, man. This storyline is just, people are eating this stuff up, and people are going to be really paying attention to that main event match. With Triple H throwing himself in there as the special ref just adds even more intrigue and even more, thoughts of what could go down at the end of this pay-per-view. And really, in the last couple of years of WWE, it's looked very predictable what you could be looking at going into a pay-per-view. And right now, I can honestly say I have no damn idea what's going to happen at the end of that title match. There could be so many different things. And as I've always said, one of the biggest things about, some of the greatest times of wrestling, if you want to say Attitude Era or whatever you want to say like that, was the unpredictability of it. The stuff that you could just not have, have no idea what's going on. And with this Punk angle, that's what I get out of it every single week, every single night, day in and day out. It's just something unpredictable. And as I've loved this feud with Christian and Randy Orton. It's something that I've wanted to see in a main stage type feud, which is just some great stuff. They've just been consistently really, really good matches. And finally, adding the stipulation here, I think it'll help this angle out a lot. I think having Christian heel has just been some great stuff, and I think it's going to be. So hopefully, we could see a Christian retain there. I think that'd be amazing to see that. But with the two matches at the top of this card, it's going to be some great stuff. As you said, the undercard could be stacking up. I think if we see Riley and Dolph Ziggler, I'd really be looking forward to that. I think it's perfect for both guys. I think Dolph Ziggler's needed to almost be the sort of, I don't want to say veteran, but sort of the more veteran type guy in a feud. I think it's good to see that he could not be the young guy in the feud all the time like you saw him with like Edge or something like that when he was in there. And I think it's perfect for Riley too. Also, I really just kind of disregard that feud with Miz. I don't think it was really needed. I think it kind of didn't really help out both guys. I didn't think Riley was going to get to the position that he was, but I think that would be a great match they did for U.S. title. They've been talking possibly Kofi Del Rio, maybe something like that. Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett, we've been seeing also. So I mean, there's some possible undercard matches that could really perform too with the stat card that we see at the top.
Yeah, this is like I think is this is gonna be good stuff here. But guys, let us know what you think. If you have some favorite moments, matches, favorite SummerSlam of all time. You got any ideas, predictions? What do you think is gonna happen? Hit up the comment. Subscribe MVP Shear. Subscribe Mad Scientist. Check out IWR Show. Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what's going on, and thanks, guys.